Good morning, students. How are you? I think you are okay. Today, I am going to teach you a very important lesson. The topic of today is the narrative technique of R.K. Narayan with reference to his famous novel, The Guide. As you know, that R.K. Narayan has been regarded as the master of narrative techniques. He uses all the three persons, first person, second person, third person, and flashbacks in his narrative technique. He is known as one of the three important Indian novelists in English. Mulk Raj Anand, Raja Rao are the two other novelists. Narayan's novels deals with the life of average middle class man. He looks at common life with a sense of realist humor. He criticizes with gentle irony and middle class hypocrisy. He looks at life with a curious interest. He is detached, he is interested and detached observer of our ordinary interests. The guide attempts at reviving the ethnic cultures, traditions, beliefs, and languages. He writes about a cross section of the Indian society. His characters are drawn from a wide variety of situations. They are not rich, they are not poor, they came from that type of typical middle class situations. They are also resourceful. They have enough common sense, they are keen observers of life. Their qualities are unfailing, strenuous hard work, they have teeming sense of life. They are always hopeful participants in life. They are all born optimists. Narayan has employed a double narrative techniques. The students should focus here double narratives. He uses the narrative techniques with purpose. He uses flashback narrative technique. Flashback means that the scene from past comes first before us and the incidents are connected with them. This makes Raju estimate his own personality. In this narration of past life, Raju shows enough honesty and sincerity. He portrays himself with a great boldness. The Guide is one of Narayan's most interesting and popular works and is told in a series of flashbacks. In this novel, Raju is the narrator of his past and points out his feelings from memory. Now, the memory plays a very vital role in flashbacks. Through flashback, Raju continues with the story of the past. The laying of the railway track finally completes and a railway station is established at Malgudi. The reminiscence of Raju makes this novel more realistic. The flashback technique arouses the curiosity and the interest of the reader. It also proves Narayan's skill as a born storyteller. Narayan uses the interesting technique of a varied narrative perspective. The story shifts back and forth between first and third person narrative. At times it's Raju, the main character, speaking, and at other times the story is told from the point of view of an omniscient narrator. The author also utilizes cinematographic elements and flashback techniques. So the students, you have understood that he uses the persons first and second, third somewhere also, and the flashback technique in which memory plays a very important role. Now we skip this paragraph because in his other novels these techniques have also been used. Narayan's novels have been translated into several Indian and foreign languages. He has won admire in England and the United States of America. He is chiefly a writer of tragic comedies of mischance and misdirection. So his other novels have also been compared so far as the flashback technique is concerned. In this novel, he uses the realistic view of life through the flashback techniques. Narayan's novels show Indian society negotiating the complex terrain in the modern. Malgudi in that sense becomes a laboratory where various possibilities and positions are tried. The Guide, undoubtedly Narayan's best known novel as a narrative of modern India, is about the nature of the ancient Indian institution, that of the Guru, which indeed has no exact English counterpart. Arkinard's use of slightly lighter, slightly more frivolous, and certainly more ambiguous word guide is therefore telling. Narayan has a gift of sketching paint pictures that bring scenes and characters vividly to life without taking resource to ornate and excessive description. His simplicity of language conceals a sophisticated level of art. Narayan handles language like an immensely flexible tool that effortlessly conveys both the specific as well as symbolic and the universal. The tone of the guide is quiet and subdued. Thus, the use of flashback, common lifestyle, com- comedy, language, and the double perspective, Raju's and the novelist make the novel fresh, stimulating, provocative, interesting. Another technique Narayan uses is imagery and symbolism, which is rooted in Indian culture but has universal appeal. At the end of the story, where Raju is drowning, his eyes enclosed towards the mountains, his brilliant sunrises and villagers look on. By juxtaposing the simple background of the Indian village at sunrise with the suicide scene, Narayan effectively communicates Raju's death as an image of hope, consistent with the Indian belief in death and rebirth. Rosie, Velan, Raju's mother and uncle, Gaffu, the driver, Joseph, the steward of the bungalow where Marco stayed are all characters exhibiting the traditional Indian culture and ethos. Raju and Marco, on the contrary, bear features of Western or modern culture and manners. So now we also skip some paragraphs because they are not so relevant, and although Narayan uses so many perspectives in the novel, his characters are drawn from a wide variety of situations. They are not rich, they are not poor, they came from the typical middle class situations. They have a teeming sense of life. They are always hopeful participants in life. They are all born hopeful participants, optimists. They are great hard workers in life. If everything else fails in life, their resourcefulness and unfailing hope in bright future lead them on in their lives. For them, living life is important. Narayan creates all his characters in Malgudi. It is an imaginary small town. It's growing semi-urban center. The Guide is a very important novel of R.K. Narayan. It is at the height of success as a novelist. Narayan employs the flashback narrative technique in the Guide. The narrative technique is method of telling the story. Here there are two kinds of narration. The flashback story told by the hero, Raju himself, and the second method in which the writer tells the story of Raju. The Guide in the first method of the story begins in the past and comes to the present. In the second method, it begins in the present and goes into the future. Both these methods are fused in the end of the novel. When Raju sacrifices his life for the for the sake of people of the village. In the first method, the novel begins in the retrospective past. Here Raju being telling his story after his release from the jail, he is sitting in a very pensive mood. He vacantly looks at Velan. The mistakes him for a Swami. The villagers are who meet him. Velan mistakes him as Swami. In spite of Raju repeated reminders to him that he is not Swami at all. Raju tells his past life in a moment of intense self-analysis. From the present, the novel goes back to Raju's past life. The guide whole novel revolves around Raju. He is both symbolically and in real life a guide. He guides people to their destinations in Malgudi and they get down brightly from the train Malgudi. He is a young man by nature. He is helpful, he helps everybody unhesitatingly. He is a born optimist, he is always cheerful. Raju is a resourceful and extremely helpful young man. He is having a small shop in the railway platform of Malgudi. Everybody admired his resourcefulness. He had social relations with everybody. Everybody liked him for his readily helpful nature. He helped anybody, whoever sought his help, whoever got down at the Malgudi railway station was helped by Raju. He was popular on the railway platform in Malgudi. His life took an almost irretrievable turn with the entrance of Rosie into his life. One day, Mark and Rosie got down at the Malgudi station. Mark was a famous archaeologist. He came to Malgudi to make a historical study of the cave of Malgudi. Rosie was his charming wife. She was a modest woman Raju took them to the caves and showed them. As he did with everybody, Rosie was greatly interested in dance. Mark was a serious sort of scholar. For him, his scholarship was very important. Nothing interested him more than his scholarship. He also did not like Rosie giving public performance of her dance. Rosie felt naturally frustrated in her husband's company. She was hopelessly looking at some opportunity to show her dancing skills to the world. Raju was giving patient company to Rosie. He did not have any evil intention of separating from Marco Polo. But gradually they come closer to each other. Rosie and Raju were gradually deciding to live independently. Rosie started giving public performance of her dance. She becomes very popular as a dancer. Everybody attended her dance. Raju naturally becomes her manager. He was fixing her dance programs and looking after her financial arrangements. Both of them become very popular. As many and wide popularity came Raju's way, he somehow arranged to develop some interest in visiting clubs and gaining some influence in society. He was quite happy. Only unhappy thing for him was that he was separated from his mother. Rosie was separated from Marco. Raju and Rosie start living together. He becomes her dance manager when everything appeared to be going well for both Rosie and Raju. The most disastrous thing happened to him. One day Raju got a registered letter from a bank for Rosie's signature. It was letter from Marco. Rosie should sign that letter for redeeming some gold ornaments from the bank. Raju did not tell about the letter to Rosie. He waited for 2 days. Finally, in a moment of impulsive action, he forged the signature of Rosie and sent back the letter to the bank. He was hoping that he would get the gold ornaments by registered post. He was waiting. He was inquiring in the post office hopefully, but quite shockingly, while he was attending the dance performance of Rosie, he was arrested on the charges of forgery. The complaint was made by Marco. Rosie was first stunned. She decided to go back to Marco. Thus Raju went to jail and Rosie joined to Marco. This is end of Raju's first story. Rosie somehow arranged for the bail of Raju because he was sort of a guide to everybody who went to see the Elephantine caves near Malgudi. He might not have been greatly educated and fully knowledgeable, but he was certainly and warm in his dealings with the tourists who visited Elephantine caves. But his courteous manner and welcome intimacy for the strangers always attracted everybody. This is the end of Raju's first story. Up to this point, Raju tells his story to the Velan. It is a flashback manner. In the present, Raju is now waiting. He is still undecided about his future course of action. He has grown weird and looking deeply pensive. He is in meditative mood. This is the second part of the narration. This part of Raju's story is told by the novelist. Velan thinks that Raju is a Swami. From now onwards, the novelist tells the story of Raju as the Swamiji. Raju has become a Swami. First, he protests and tells the villagers that he is not a Swamiji, but resourceful, that he is readily accepted to play the role of a Swami. Velan worshipped Raju. All the villagers are greatly benefited by his resourceful advice. Raju becomes very popular. He becomes their prophet. He starts enjoying himself in the new role. After some time, there was a famine. People were dying of starvation. Velan appeared to Raju to do something for getting rains. First, Raju did not take his role of a sannyasi seriously. People began pray to Raju to do penance for rains. They believe that he is a true Swami. They believe him to their rescuer. Then he was deeply touched by the love and hope of people to him. Raju feels embarrassed. His moral conscience is touched for first time. He decides to sacrifice his life to a noble cause. He believes in altruism. He agrees to do penance for their sake. He prayed for the rains. After 3 days of penance, the rains came. There were floods of water in the river Saryu, and Raju sank and fell down in the Saryu. The rains do come, and thus the drought is ended. Finally, Raju becomes the real rescuer. This is the second part of the novel. Narayan wrote many symbolical expressions in the novel. The guide, for example, the temple's influence on the democratic consciousness is so profound and efficacious that it results in the ultimate transformation of Raju. It enables the establishment of the identity of the mosque and the man. So in the novel there are so many types of examples in which the narrative technique has been used. So although the topic is very lengthy, but for the students' help, I now come to the conclusion. Narayan has employed a double narrative techniques. He uses the narrative technique with purpose. He uses flashback narrative techniques. This makes Raju estimate his own personality. In this narration of past life, Raju shows enough honesty and sincerity. He portrays himself with great boldness. His character changes from that of good man to that of a stupid, who was now away Marco's wife. So we come to the end of the question of the so many episodes. The topic is related to many episodes. So thank you students. You have taken it seriously. Thank you.